What's going on, good people? You know what time it is. You're in the place to be. This is the BirdCage LLC. So we got a few things we're going to get into. We got the magnificent Birdcage crew in here tonight. Of course, we'd like for you to hit that like and subscribe button on the way in. We got you covered tonight, y'all. So sit back, relax. Let's get to it.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Man, what's going on, man? This has been a crazy week, as we've been saying, when you talk about the Atlanta Falcons and everything that's going on. But again, welcome. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way in. We got you covered. Also, we got some magnificent folks from the magnificent Birdcage crew coming through tonight. First on deck, we got K-Dub in the building. What up, man?
What's good? What's good? Historian Blake to be in the building tonight with all the Birdcage alumni and fellow followers out there. So glad to get into the topic today.
Man, it's been a crazy week in Atlanta when you talk about everything that's happened. You've seen this fan base. They're starting to kind of warm up to the fact that Stefanski's the head coach at this point, but you're also seeing that it's a split right now with the stuff that's going on with JPJ. Everything is literally off the rails at this point when we talk about this team right now. They're just trying to figure out how to navigate through the offseason.
Hey, I mean, I understand the feelings and sentiments of everybody involved. But the key thing in the situation that, he committed some crimes, but no one was killed or anything like that. Because I've seen a lot of different charges come out through the years with different players where somebody was actually killed. So, I know he rammed into her car, but we got to quit overreacting to the situation. I believe he gets a 6 to 8 game suspension, and a lot of stuff get reduced, pleaded down, and he get a lot of probation and community service time. But that's just my opinion. I mean, it's just what I think. They could railroad him and end his whole career. But that's just my opinion. I just want to see everything come out and let the case play its course.
And I said the same thing. I said, look, the one thing that's gonna hurt him is the police officer. And now that she's saying that the young lady's gonna testify now at this point, that right there makes it a little and she actually signed the documentation, and that was what came out the other day on ESPN and everything else. That right there definitely makes it a bit more sticky. But at the end of the day, I look at it like this, man.
I mean, well, I just feel like it's not going to be something speedy. If you got a great lawyer, they're going to know how to prolong that case, maybe like a year before that case goes into court. So,
of course. I
mean, it's going to be a while, and I think he could pay that police officer off. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just serious. I'm being honest though, because he didn't.
No.
They say he attacked his knee. I don't even think he hit his knee, but you tried to, and I got out the way.
Yeah, when you trying to fix the scene, and that was what happened. I think
a lot of stuff with money. He had to come out some money. He had to come out that bread.
My thing is, this is my thing. My thing is, you hit her car twice. You tried to hit her car.
Oh, everything he did was
And
everything, I'm on the record. That's wrong. Everything you did was.
And this is where we've been getting like a split with the fan base. There's some people that are making it light. And I look at it from this point because we only gonna give this about 5 or 10 minutes. That's about it. That's all we gonna give it because
I mean
everybody's been beating the hell out of this story. But
I don't want to be that guy that's gonna, jump on the kid because I've been in the 20s and making mistakes. Not that kind of mistake, but I made mistakes. So all I'm saying is you make mistakes in your early 20s.
So here's the thing.
A lot of people that are poo-pooing this guy are probably older guys. And I'm like, man, you forgot when you were 21, 22. You don't remember that stuff you did.
Well, here's my thing. I'm gonna say this here because I gotta stop that right there. First off, I ain't putting my hands on no chick like that.
No, I didn't say those kind of. I didn't say them kind of charges.
No. I'm saying in that situation, you got some people that are worse than others. But when you use a vehicle as a weapon at that point, because not only could have hurt her, you could have hurt yourself. And that right there, I'm gonna tell you this here. If you crash a damn Lamborghini, a Lambo, that's bad arithmetic at that point. And my thing is, I love the kid on the field. My thing is, he needs to get help off of it because I care more about the person opposed to what everybody's sitting here complaining about. Oh, he's gonna be this. Here's my thing, and I'm gonna flip it on there. All the fellas that's up in here. I got a daughter, a little, stepdaughter. You got a daughter. We got sisters and things like that. Now we also tell the ladies in our family, because I'm not just gonna put all this on him. Now, if you start something, don't put me in the middle of this because you already know that I'm going to protect you with my life. You have to make sure that you didn't do anything to put this man in that situation for number one. That's something that always gets swept under the rug. I'm not taking sides. I got to be devil's advocate because us as fathers, brothers, uncles, we got to teach young ladies in some aspects because everything hasn't come out yet. So this is not me speaking on her. I'm saying for us as men, we got to take responsibility and teach young ladies, hey, walk away from a situation if you know it's going to be bad and you see red flags and if you put your hands on him, you wrong for that. Now, if you defending yourself and protecting yourself, that's different. But in this situation, Holmes used the car. I just still can't.
I mean, he all the way in the wrong. Look, I mean, if you look at the details of this case now, he all the way in the wrong. What are you even doing in Miami? First off.
And you using a car. like, let's be real. Violence is wrong, period. But you using a damn car. A Lambo at that. At least use the damn Altima. But the Lambo? I'm making
look. In his mind, this youth, we always talk about the youth of today.
Yes.
That's a real crash. I'm gonna crash out with a Lamborghini. So he doing it crashing out 8+ style. But the key thing is, what are you doing in Miami? That's the question. So you really stalking. You ain't got no business doing in Miami, period. She let you go months ago. So he all the way in the wrong. So the key thing is, if I'm his lawyer and his team, right now you in some kind of program, and you in SHOOT program, you in all the programs right now. You in rehabilitation program, you in domestic violence program, you in all the programs right now. So once you go to court, sir, Your Honor, he's completed all the courses, everything. And we have him a mentor. That's what the Falcons need to get him, a mentor.
And it's not just the mentor part. You got to keep your ass off social media. You don't need to be in the limelight. What you need to be doing, laying low, staying away from everything. Now, what you did was wrong. Now, what you need to do in this situation to, if you can't have direct contact with her, if you have somebody that's in your circle that's with her, you need to write a handwritten apology for this mess. I know it's not much. I'm just saying it's not going to help, but it's at least a first step towards him trying to get some damn help. Because look, I'm going to keep it honest with you. I got a little one. and y'all see her in the promos at the end. I'm letting you know now. I'm already teaching her. Walk away from stuff. Don't put yourself in situations. Now, if you're in a situation where you got to fight to get your way out of, do what you got to do, then call me or call your uncles. It's just what it is. Because at the end of the day, it's sad that you see two young people in a volatile situation. Both lives are going to be changed because, again, he's got a stalking charge, and that's not good. And you got a lot of things that go from that. And then you have her that she has to relive this in future situations. If she's dating somebody, she's not going to trust anybody because of this situation. And it's going to be traumatic for her. Just like a lot of us vets have PTSD, she's getting ready to have that from that day. So I'm not saying that she's an angel because, again,
we don't.
All play the crash out over her too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He reacted. Yeah. But you got to also teach our daughters and sisters and things to quit being instigators. Yep. Stop instigating situations, because once we do turn up, that boy, he got 10.5 sacks. When he turns up, it's on. So you see how many police officers it took to get the man down. Like about 8 of them. So what I'm saying is, you can't instigate the situation. You have to know how to have a soft tone and know how to talk to the male figure when it gets antsy and dancy. That's the key thing.
But here's the thing. Us as men, and this is just no excuse in this situation, you got to have a little bit more emotional maturity in this spot. And you've got to be a hell of a lot smarter, because you have financial, not even with the financial stuff, that bump that. Let's just talk about it. Let's keep it real, because we're going to switch the subject in a second. This is just what it is. If you are a male, unless your life is being threatened with a weapon that can end your life, you have no reason to put your hands on the chick. Get out of a situation, shove her out of the way, haul ass. It's no excuse. Do not put hands on a female. And for the ladies out here, as K-Dub just said, if you are in a situation with a guy and you know that he's one of them type dudes, walk. Because at the end of the day, something you say or do can push him to that point. Not saying it's right, but everybody's got to be responsible and smart in this spot, period. Both of them are high-profile athletes, and they both got a lot to lose. So at this point, hopefully they get the help they need, and we can move forward from this, because this has to stop, period. Young folks are going to be young folks, but if you're in a situation, and this is for the folks that's viewing this, if you're in a bad situation, notice the red flags from the jump, accept people for who they are from the start, and move aside and let somebody else have that problem. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be in the morgue, the hospital, or in the penitentiary. So with that being said, accountability is the best ability. And speaking of availability, we got Kirk Cousins in a situation where some things might be opening up pretty soon, fellas. We got contracts looming. We have everything that's going on with Atlanta at this point when we talk about contracts. Pitts, Drake, Bijan, Kirk's getting ready to possibly get cut, and there's some landing spots for him. Minnesota is one of them. Cleveland's another spot that you can look at. How do you great beard?
Hey, look, Great Beard thinking the same thing I'm thinking. He need to be entertaining the couch or the CBS studio. That's what he need to be. I'm just being honest, man. I've seen it. Look, I understand these listeners out here, you have a fetish or something with Kirk Cousins, but the last game that I seen when I was in attendance, the man took 10 years for the ball to get to Drayland. He's like, man, I'm waiting on it. It's over, man. Just like the writings on the wall when Matt Ryan's career was over with. Somebody has to tap you on the shoulder to say, sir, it's time to retire.
So we're going to let Graybeard answer for himself. So Graybeard, what do you think?
Oh, Lord have mercy. First and foremost, what's going on, everybody? Kirk Cousins, get ready to get on that PBS broadcast, man. I agree with Kate 1,000%.
Nothing wrong with that.
Get on that, hey man. You have been the kidnapper of Czech for a very long time. You did some good things in the league, man. It's okay. Get on that couch or that broadcast. But there are going to be some teams that are going to probably take a look at them, like Cleveland. Todd Monken going to want some veteran presence there. One. Minnesota. The AJ McCaffrey.
You mean JJ McCarthy?
JJ McCarthy. Yeah,
they
JJ
ready
McCarthy.
to run him up out of Minneapolis. Have you seen the reports? And have you seen how they are pissed off at that dude right now?
It's not his fault though. They the one that let Cam Donald walk. So if anything, they need to be punching themselves.
But they did let him walk.
They let him walk.
Got a ring now.
Yeah. So
he ain't looking back.
And I know Justin Jefferson. It's like, bro, what I got to do to get traded? What I got to do to get traded?
I mean, he may feel that way, but he's played handsomely there. So sometimes, man, when you're getting your money, you want to win a championship, but you're comfortable where you at. That's the only place he's played at. I mean, he ain't barking loud enough if he wants to get out of there. I've seen people bark so loud, you got to get him up out of there. So,
but the body language, though, K-Dub, that body language ain't looking too tough.
And the crazy part about this here. The crazy part about the whole situation is this. You cut him now, you save yourself some money, you let somebody else take care of that bill. Because that man, his agent literally needs a Hall of Fame jacket. He's 3 franchises.
The agent will get double salute.
And at this point,
the best agent everything.
What has to happen is we need to get rid of that bill. Let somebody else pick it up because there are teams that are desperate enough to bring him in and let him be on the squad and play. Because right now the demand of quarterbacks is still high as heck. It's still high. So
you know what'd be funny?
What's up?
If the Raiders take a Clint Kubiak, don't try to take a swing at him.
Nah, Mendoza's pretty much gonna be a Raider. It's either gonna be Mendoza or Chambliss. It's either gonna be Mendoza or Chambliss that go to the Raiders.
They just granted him an extra year, Chambliss.
No, so he won.
Sweet. They just granted him. No, the what is it? The probate? What? No, not
the NCAA.
Not the NCAA. It's like the state governor, something like that, Mississippi or something like that.
Yeah. The state of Mississippi.
It was a Mississippi judge. But the
NCAA had a right to appeal it.
Exactly.
Yeah, something like that. It was something like Mississippi state judge. I'm like, what?
Yeah. They granted him
the crazy part about it. The state of Mississippi or whatever, locally, okay, he gets that. But you're getting ready to have to deal with it on a higher scale because now you've had people that have had years turned down already. And now that you're getting that, the NCAA is going to try to fight that because they don't want a ton of lawsuits because they're already losing money left and right now. So they're trying to hold on to as much credibility as they can. So I still see Chambliss possibly still being in this draft because I still think the NCAA going to dig their heels down and pretty much stick with their decision at this point.
Yeah, they gonna. I can hear an appeal coming within the next few days.
So here's a question I got for y'all. Now, with the contracts looming at this point, and this is getting ready to fall into what we're talking about. What do we do with Kyle Pitts? Because right now, there's something coming up, and I'll bring the looming contracts back up. There's something coming up, as you can see, and I'm gonna remove the comments for a sec. David Njoku's looking for a new home.
Yep.
Georgia's on his mind right now, too, because you got to remember his former coach who got him to the league and helped him matriculate his game is definitely looking at that. How do y'all feel about Njoku coming in? Quietly as is kept or whatnot, Pitts does have better numbers than him and has been in the league less than he has, but you're bringing in a guy that knows this offense. And not just knows the offense, he thrives in this offense as well. How would y'all feel to save money if they did decide to cut Pitts, I'm not saying they are going to cut him for you Pitts lovers out here. I said if. Let me make sure I put that out. If.
Yeah, I like what GA Texas boy. That's what I just said. I like what GA Texas boy said. I was finna say the exact same thing. It's crazy. Got it out before I can talk.
Yeah, but how much is that guaranteed money though?
It's gonna be astronomical.
Because right now, if you look at what Dallas did with George Pickens, that man about to make $28 million in 1 year.
Do you want to pay? Do you want to pay a tight end that much money?
If it's 28 million, that's a little too high. If it's like 15 million, we can do it. But it's 28, you got to go. Okay.
They already. I don't know what the going rate is on tight end, but if they probably get him for about 12 or 15 for 1 year.
And shout out to the content creators in the chat. We got A1 in the chat, T Will, John of the Eye Test. Appreciate y'all stopping through. And the folks that are in here as well, our regulars that come through, that pull up. We appreciate y'all for coming through. But I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to spend that much money on a tight end. If I'm gonna spend money, I need somebody that's getting ready to stretch the field at this point. I would rather get a receiver. That's just me. If I'm gonna spend money like that, let me get another pass catcher to help complement Drake. And we'll figure out what we can figure out with Pitts afterwards. But I'm not spending 20-something million for that cat. Hell no.
If that kind of receiver is out there in free agency, yes. But we got to see who all hits free agency and who all stays with their respective ball club.
Well, we can all count Jordan Addison out because after what's been going on right now, they're not taking no more problem children right now. I can tell you that now.
I like Jordan Addison.
I do too. But with his off the field stuff that he's had issues with, that right there is pretty much going to be a red flag in the no.
Yeah, they might stay away from that.
We had a chance to do that, but I give you another cat. If you draft him, this is if they don't go D tackle or O line in the first round. Casey Concepcion is a very good pick. He could fall to the second round.
I like Concepcion.
I like him too. And he definitely could be something that you could use. But I would rather address the trenches first. But if they did not address the trenches, there's multiple receivers that you can go out here and go get.
Yeah. And I think you hit the tail on the of the donkey right there. I believe we go receiver in that second round because we have a offensive minded head coach, and because we do need a running mate with Drake.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing, like you were saying, with an offensive minded head coach, the first thing I think he might actually look at possibly getting somebody to protect Penix's blind side. I got a debate last night on the eye test with Winston.
I'm with that.
I got shout out to Winston of the eye test. That's my guy. We got into a little debate last night about Caleb and Gary.
Yes,
and the funniest thing about it was we both are arguing about this, but the thing is, numbers don't mean anything like I told him. I told him that. I said, okay, they're grading him this way, but we see something totally different on the field.
They got Callahan out there now, but Callahan like, hold up, dog. We can go. I can do better than this.
Because here's the thing. Running blocking is not a problem for the Falcons. We know this. It's not a problem. We just have to get better at pass protection because whether it's Penix, whether it's whoever's back there, if you don't have no time to throw the damn football, it's not going to work.
Look at Drake May in the Super Bowl. That man
exactly
running for his life.
That was MVP type year.
That was bad right there.
Like he whole right guy just, but not
real bad. That's a top five. That's a top five boring in Super Bowl. One of the boring Super Bowl I done watched.
Man, that was a defensive game, and I was happy about that.
I'm not like defense. I don't know. I just
you wanted some points in that game. I know.
I'm like a few more. Just a few more. It didn't have to be a shootout.
Hey. Well, speaking of points or whatnot, we gotta pay some bills. We got a point to make for you guys. For those in the surrounding Atlanta area, please check this out. Even if you're not, still tap in with it. Let's get to it. Tax season is the toughest time of year for some. Don't let individual taxes, business taxes, and audits keep you down. If you're looking to save time and make the most out of tax season, check out Upscale Professional Taxes. Free quotes, rapid returns, individual and business taxes filed. Also, cash advances up to $7,000. Simple, secure, professional. Call now to get the maximum refund you deserve. Also, you can receive up to $100 for each referral to Upscale Professional Tax Services. For more information, contact tax specialist Cinquay Mentor at 404-993-0642. Your refund awaits, so don't hesitate. Call now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely, if you got tax season going on, check out our boy Cinquay, better known as Scoop, Black Wall Street. He definitely will get you right for the taxes in the season or whatnot. So just wanted to make sure we gave our boy a plug. Shout out to Scoop. Y'all please support his business. He's definitely doing some big things out here. And definitely we're enjoying the fact that he's finally starting to take off. So we wanted to make sure we showed our support. So shout out to Scoop. Man,
the man of many talents.
Many talents.
Hey, man, we versatile in the Birdcage, man. We got folks that do taxes, folks that cook. We got folks that detail cars. I mean, hey, look, we hustlers, man. This is just what we do.
You gotta be.
You can't be one-dimensional to be on this team.
Yo.
Gotta be
versatile.
Yes, sir. But getting back to the possibility of Njoku having a new home, I think it would work because he knows the offense and he would definitely be an impact player right off the bat because of the fact that he knows the passing scheme. He would just have to get used to who's going to be that quarterback at that point. That's all I'm saying. And right now, this is one thing we all agreed on this here. We are not trying to rush Penix back. Not now. We want him to get 100% healthy so he can sling that pill all over the yard, pretty much. That's all we need. Because if you get Penix with Njoku, Pitts, doesn't matter. It's definitely going to be good because he's got two veteran play callers. Now, Mr. Van Pelt or whatnot, our quarterback coach, I believe, is going to be the difference maker in this. It's not going to be Stefanski. It's not going to be our OC. It's going to be Alex Van Pelt, the quarterback coach. And if you look at think about it, his former quarterback just played in the Super Bowl, played his worst game, but he got him to the Super Bowl. So all I'm saying is you got a quarterback coach that's competent in here now. So Penix has a fair shake once he gets 100% healthy to become the quarterback that we want him to become at this point, and pretty much can help take this offense to another level. But before we get him to that point, we got to build around. We got to build that line up.
The line should be like top.
I think they attack. I think that's what they attack in free agency: the offense and defensive line. I think they really attack it. But listening to Ian Cunningham, he said build it from within. Soon as free agency opens up, boom, we attack that line. I just think that's what's gonna happen, but I could be totally wrong. But I think soon as free agency opens up, we attack the defense and the offensive line in the same walk.
I agree with you on that. And that's the main thing that I feel as if we need to attack, because you can't keep taking these scratch and sniff offensive linemen you got here and expect them to produce, period. And when I say scratch and sniff, they scratch the crack of their behind, they get the whiff of that grass and they think that they're invincible, and then they find out when they go up against elite linemen why you're practice squad players, period. Still in the NFL because it's hard to get there. So I can't trash them cats. They got to the highest level. So what might be garbage to us, think about it. Everybody on that level can play, even the practice squad guys. You don't keep a job if you can't play, even with the sorry teams. So it's only an elite amount of people in this world that get to that level. Now, the question is, do you take off or do you fold? But we've seen a lot of guys fold. So, hey, like you say, NFL stands for not for long. But speaking of not for long, we also got to welcome to Atlanta Mr. LaTroy Lewis. Coach Lewis is the assistant D-line coach that has just came here, former NFL player as well as coach. He actually helped coach the Michigan Wolverines during their championship run with their defensive line. So for him, I think this is big because, again, D-line coach at Toledo, spent time at Michigan as a grad assistant helping out with that D-line. And when you look at what he brings to the table, he played defensive line at University of Tennessee from 2013 to 2016. And people don't know this, but he played for the Raiders and the Houston Texans for a short period of time and the Titans. And he also was a Chuck Smith disciple, by the way. So I'm giving y'all a heads up. If Nate Ollie decides to leave next season, we're in good hands because you got a Chuck Smith disciple that we just brought in.
I like it.
Most people don't know much about this dude. Some of us that love college football kind of know about him because you look at Aiden Hutchinson and that D-line that they had in Michigan. He was partly responsible for that.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So a guy that's young enough to come here at the right age, and then he also played in the NFL as a D lineman, so he understands the position because he was in the fire. So just a little FYI on our new coach. Welcome. But man, let's go ahead and get to this next topic, man. Y'all get ready to probably chuckle at this one.
Uh-oh.
The Falcons part ways with Ryan Pace.
I was actually shocked.
Why? That's the same man that was partly responsible for number 2 leaving. You didn't think Matt Ryan wasn't gonna get his lick back?
He did. He was like, yeah, he was 50 Cent, man. He channeled that inner Curtis Jackson real quick. He was like,
and as y'all can see, I'm gonna move the comments off for a second. As y'all can see, I call these guys the cleanup crew. Ian Cunningham, Arthur Blank is in the shadows, as you can see. He doesn't want to be too far in the light, but you can see that silhouette. Matt Ryan, and then you got Kevin Stefanski, and then you got the cleanup crew right there in front of the city. They're cleaning up a ton of mess right now, from JPJ to contracts to personnel in the front office. Like, literally, this is nothing but a cleanup crew. They're cleaning up everything that's been messed up right now.
talking about years on top of years.
How long do you think it's going to take for the turnover to happen, fellas?
Real talk, I'm going to say about 3 to 5 years. I got to be realistic.
Yeah. I mean, being realistic, I say about 3 years. I'm just being realistic, but we're going to see.
I mean, I'm not. If we can turn it around within a year or two, I'm cool. But to be realistic, the way we're not trying to rush, panic back. You still got to address the offensive line, defensive line. Still got to find a quality of defensive back. You're not gonna be able to do all of those things in this one draft. It's gonna take a couple of drafts to address pretty much well over 50% of our needs on both sides of the ball.
Mm. And for me, I say it's gonna take. For me, I think it's gonna take 3 years, and by year 4, that's when you're really gonna see the fruit. Now, if we start catching on earlier than that, I will be happy. But ladies and gentlemen, you gotta understand this. We only have 5 picks this year. Now, if Ian Cunningham trades away that second pick, and we end up getting more picks or whatnot, that bodes well for us because we can stiffen up the roster. Pretty much like taking a little bit of cornstarch and mixing it up with a little bit of water, and you put it in your gravy and thicken it up, or your roux. That's pretty much what we're doing right now. That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Ian, I'm gonna give y'all this. To me, and please, y'all don't take this the wrong way. I hope you don't take it the wrong way, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Ian Cunningham is pretty much like this. Matt Ryan is pretty much starting to become like John Gotti with a PhD. That's pretty much what Matt Ryan has become. John Gotti with a PhD. And Ian Cunningham, rest in peace to the great Martin Luther King, that's like Martin Luther King with a GAT. And if you know what a GAT is, you pretty much understand that King was nonviolent, you push a man to the point to where he becomes violent is dangerous. So yes, I have crossbred messages. Yes, I did it. And yes, I know I did it. But Ian Cunningham has the diplomacy of a king, but has the aggressiveness as a mobster that sits behind the desk. It's just what it is. Hell, I might as well start calling him Little Bumpy Johnson.
Not Bumpy.
I'm serious. We might as well start calling the man Bumpy Johnson, because the way that he handled the press conferences was immaculate. You got to give it to him. Did not run his mouth. Pretty much say, hey, this is what we got to fix. Hey, I was a fan of the Falcons. This is what we got to do. If you're noticing, the press conferences are less rah-rah speeches.
The way it should be.
What up, Jay?
The way it should
They have been. I mean, they have been doing it like the way I think they should do it. Like, look, we put our head down, getting to work. That's all I need to hear. I don't need to hear all these proclamations and chants and it's just too much, man. Just get to work. It's football. X's and O's. Let's get to winning, man.
I still say the most dangerous thing right now is you're bringing in guys that they have their goals, but they're not presenting their, let's be honest, they're giving surface talk, but they're not truly presenting the overall goals of what they want to do. They're not presenting it, which is smart. They're not putting themselves in a situation where you might have a hangman's noose waiting on you by, with the expectations. Because you heard Raheem say, we're just going to come in here and run this out. You didn't hear anything from this regime so far. Nothing like that.
And I like it. They got their poker face on to the highest level.
Keeping everything up to the vest.
None.
Now, the thing that I can't wait to see, I want to see the type of influence that Ian Cunningham has over the scouting department. Because, again, that man was groomed under Ozzie Newsome and Howie Roseman. And those organizations where he has championship rings tells you enough. Now, Chicago, he helped turn that franchise around. Took him a few years, but you see how Chicago turned it around, and they end up getting to the playoffs with a young quarterback and a young team.
Oh, it took the right coach.
And think about it. They got players from us, and then we ended up getting Mooney and gave them draft picks so they can pick and build that roster.
Yeah, GM was a genius. I ain't gonna lie.
The true test comes, fellas and ladies and gentlemen in the chat, when we get to the draft and what directions we move in undrafted free agency. That is what's going to tell you what direction this team is going to go and what the mindset of this team is going to be. They say they want physical and nasty and smart. We're going to see the type of players that they bring in, and because we're going to have a draft eval for the Power 4 schools and the HBCUs. We do it every year. And we also might have Mr. Daniel Hatman joining us when we do that, by the way, who was on last week.
Good interview, by the way, man.
Thank you. We'll have a former NFL scout that has a Super Bowl ring coming through here and pretty much giving the leg of the land and talking about a few things. So we're working on that right now. So I want to ask y'all this. In spite of everything that's going on, how do you think the Falcons can recoup from this offseason with everything that's been going on, find that focus and just find a way to win ball games and try to take this division from the rivals that we have in it?
I mean, I think they need to keep doing what they're doing, man. All the rah-rah and the catchy phrases and whatnot. Just keep it about football and controlling what we got and not revealing too much. Because, like I said, nobody knows what direction we're going to go in the draft. We have an idea on what possibly can happen, but nobody knows the direction. They don't know the draft board. But they just like literally just feeding them what we want to know right now. I mean, what we want to hear right now until it actually happens. So, because we still don't know who gonna be QB1. We still don't know about the offensive line. Now with with James Pierce getting into trouble, a lot of people that we thought we gonna let loose might have to retain for another year. Yeah, Elephant, Ebiketti, players like that. So I like what they're doing, man. I just as long as they don't try to sugarcoat nothing and just keep it a buck with it, I think the fan base will be receptive to it.
K-Dub.
Well, I feel some of the same sentiments that Graybeard has. You got to keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Quit dancing around. Quit trying to hype us up. We've been hyped up enough. We want to see winning and winning only. I mean, you brought this suspect, coach in that has had a checkered past, and we want to see winning, man. I'm just being very, very bluntly honest. And I just want them to take it one game at a time. This is a tough league. I'm not saying you're not coaching in a very tough NFL league, but you have to get wins or you will be out the door. That's what I mean. There's no simple plan about it. I mean, it looks great on paper. We have Matt Ryan, the prodigal son is back, but sugar can turn quickly into the other thing. So, um, I'm just being honest, man. I mean, I just want to see winning. Whatever that looks like, let's get it done. I don't care who gets cut, who gets drafted, but make it happen. That's it.
If we're talking about building from the pretty much building from the inside, there's a kid, I got to watch him games. He doesn't have much individual film, but I've watched him through some of the games. There's a young man that plays offensive line for University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, same school that was responsible for producing. Excuse me. Oh man, I'm sitting here getting all choked up thinking about him and whatnot. LC Greenwood. So what I'm saying is, at this point, there's an offensive lineman that we can bring in coming out of LC Greenwood's alma mater. And if you don't know who LC Greenwood was, he was part of the Steel Curtain, wore the gold cleats or whatnot, stood out, and was just as good as Mean Joe Green and should be in the Hall of Fame right now. But there's a kid by the name of Jeremiah Rogers, offensive lineman, 6'4", 315 pounds, has a quick first step, has pretty much a punch like Lennox Lewis. If you remember Lennox Lewis in his prime, he had power, that sneaky power, and that's what this kid possesses when you talk about run blocking. As pass blocking, agile, mobile, hostile, and really don't let his quarterback get touched. So not much footage on him. I got some pics of him. I'm gonna have it up for you guys pretty soon. If I could get him on the show, that would be cool. But I reached out to him. Definitely a nice kid and has a mean streak, by the way. As a mean streak, North Carolina boy.
Yeah, you can Lenny Lewis also had.
Lennox was seen as a gentleman outside the ring, but when he was in the ring, he was a savage. That's what that kid is.
That man had a reach like a ladder. So,
when you talk about kick step, you look at how quickly he gets back. You got to remember, his quarterback was one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the SWAC. So when you look at that, that tells you enough about him and his offensive line. So for me, I already done some groundwork. I watched Arkansas Pine Bluff. I've seen some of the other schools. We've seen some of the other schools, like the Ohio State like that. I'm looking like this. If we can't get the top dogs, you got a lot of stuff you can filter in here that can actually start.
I agree.
So I'm just putting a spotlight on, a little spotlight on him and whatnot. Y'all want to check him out? Go for it. He's definitely worth it. So if you don't know who he is, look up some Arkansas Pine Bluff footage. You'll definitely see some of their game highlights, and he's actually a lead dog on that team. Second team, all SWAC this year, and was a monster. So that's one that you got to look out for. But here's the other thing I wanted to ask y'all. And we are going back to JPJ for a sec. With everything that happens, if he does get out of this situation, out of his legal situation, Roger Goodell hammers him and says he can't play for majority of the year or can't play for the season. However, he can still practice and, he's still part of the team, but he can't play at all. Here's the question I have for y'all. How do you think this fan base would be when it comes to training camp when he shows back up or he's around? Do you think it's going to be a split? Do you think you're going to have protesters? Do you think you're going to have this? Because, again, we talk about the players, but I kind of want to put the spotlight on the fans.
It's going to be a split. I think it's going to be a split. And to me, I don't think if he gets the slap on the wrist going to be about an eight game convention. That can slap on the wrist.
I think that's what he's going to get, 6 to 8 games.
That's generous.
Exactly.
That's generous. When you say 8, I think it's going to be 10 because it's a 17-game season.
Right.
If he was to get off.
Okay, yeah, because I keep getting that we've extended the season. Okay, I can see.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
6 to 8.
Nah,
I'm gonna say
that's 6 to 8. That's 6 to 8 that's stuck in my head, man. Okay, 8. I'm gonna stick at 8 then. I'm gonna go with great beer. 8 then.
I'm gonna say 10 games because
10 and a half. How you get a half a game?
But here's the thing.
I come back in the second half like a college.
But here's the thing. Roger Goodell is known for being an executioner.
He used to be a lawyer.
He's known for being an executioner. And it's just what it is at that point. And I just look at it like, well, it's gonna be split. What's up, Cody? No, I hear you about forgiveness, and a lot of people do. But here's the question: Have a lot of people forgiven Michael Vick because of what happened? Because people still say stuff about him. People still say stuff about Ray Lewis. People still talk. No, I'm not even gonna mention Ray Lewis. Hell, people still talk about Ray Caruth, and he killed his child's mother.
You ain't lying.
And got out of prison.
I mean,
so
Michael Vick did everything humanly possible to do the right thing.
I mean, Ray Rice, another one who lost his career, but still is a motivational speaker for domestic violence at this point in his life around Jersey and the Baltimore area and all around. The question is this. I get what you're saying with that. I definitely get what you're saying. But here's the thing. You got a part of the fan base that isn't so forgiving. And here's the thing. You had a part of the fan base that wasn't forgiving, and then the other half that was trying to forgive pretty much hated Matt Ryan his whole time he was here. So if we gonna be real about it, let's be real about it. We saw that firsthand.
We got a very, very complex fan base here in Atlanta.
And for me, I don't have. Nah, you good. You good. I have no problem with it. But at the same time, you got people who don't. A lot of people forget that when Vic came to Philadelphia, Philly wasn't a welcoming place for him when he got up there. They had animal protesters and animal rights people outside of the stadium. People threw stuff at him. I mean, it's true. Same in Pittsburgh, even after he left Philly. So it's the one thing that you worry about is how the fans are going to react. Because guess what? At the end of the day, we control the money that comes in. We control their revenue. And you have people, sponsors and fans who pay money. And you got some people that's willing to stop paying money because of their beliefs. And I'm not judging anybody for that. But again, we still have a ton of things that we still got to fix within this team and also within this fan base because we still split in a lot of ways. We got to get together.
But we split on everything, man. We split on the head coach, the direction, split on the owner. I mean,
we ain't gonna out there. I mean, it'd be a fine day, and I don't know way if we agree on everything. We just come together because it'd be split on everything.
We don't agree on about 40% of anything.
But it's a valid. But the fans got a valid point with Kevin Stefanski now. I'm just gonna
not say that. I'm just saying.
No. I'm talking about Graybeard. We got a valid point with Kevin Stefanski for the fans to be split. But everything else, we shouldn't be, just to be honest.
Yeah.
We got too much talent on this team. We are in a good spot. We just have to get over this darn hump of just being a regular season paperclip champion and actually start winning the division.
When we hired two firms just to figure out we had no direction, I'm like, oh God, help. Help for me, man. If we want to be taken seriously, we need to be serious. Point blank, in the discussion. I don't want to hear nothing about no fact and physical. I don't want to hear no freaking none of that. I just want to hear football. You look at New England. New England don't come out and talk about nothing. He out of the same way. I mean,
we're talking about we may not know what their local team is saying to their local fans. I mean, because we don't follow them each and every day. I'm sure each and every team puts out something to their fans to say, this is the year, this is going to be our year, but not to the extent that we follow the Falcons. So I can't say that. I don't know if each and every team out there has put up things to their fans through their official fan page, doing the same thing as the Falcons do. Not saying the exact same thing, but to motivate their fans and to keep their fans engaged with the team and in the direction they're moving.
That's so Splasher. That's not true. I know quite a few Patriots fans because I live in the Northeast. That's not true. A lot of the Patriots fans was ecstatic when Vrabel came up because they knew what they were going to get. Tennessee fans were the ones who didn't like Vrabel, and he got them to the AFC Championship game. So again, that's no. I can tell you that's incorrect because Patriots fans love Vrabel. They knew, and think about it. This is Vrabel's first year back in New England. He took a team that was really not good under Gerard Mayo and literally took them to the Super Bowl. They got their ass kicked, but guess what? They got to a place where we're trying to get to, and that's a young team.
Drake May in his second year in the NFL. Yeah. He can't runner up in the MVP of the league.
Drake May had a season very similar to Dan Marino. The only thing was he didn't get the MVP. Dan got the MVP in his second year in the league and then went to a Super Bowl, and unfortunately they got crushed by the 49ers. His story literally got the same way.
Because Vince Vrabel could coach, man. That man had Ryan Tannehill and almost went to the Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill twice.
So again, it's Titans fans that's mad, but they're not mad at Vrabel. They were more mad at their ownership than anything at that point. So when you look at it, Tennessee's ownership is cheap enough to where they'll take a plastic bottle and take packets of ketchup and just squeeze them into that. That's how cheap they are. That's why a lot of people hate playing in Tennessee. Not the same anymore. Bud Adams' daughter is worse.
They got the cash, but they ain't got no winning culture now. They got like the second highest cap in the National Football League.
Exactly. So it's not like they don't have cash. They just cheap. They don't want to spend money.
Nothing.
But I'm not a Patriots fan. I'll always hate the Patriots. But guess what? You can't knock their success.
Robert Kraft just know what he's doing. He really don't do anything.
Well, hell, they've had a winning form. Well, let's be real. The Patriots were, and most folks don't really pay attention to that because they only saw the dynasty. Most folks didn't realize they were good with Drew Bledsoe before they had the dynasty. They didn't realize the fact that Bill Parcells built that team and Belichick walked in and built something off of that.
Curtis Martin, AutoCap.
Willie McGinnis, Teddy Bruschi. Nobody talks about that though. Everybody just talks about the here and now. But I'll say this. I think once we figure out getting getting the right players in the proper positions with the athletic ability that we have on this team and the defense that we have on this team, I think we can actually make some noise to where we can take the division and possibly make a playoff run. We're nowhere near a championship team yet.
Oh no.
We got too many holes on this team right now.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be realistic, man. Do I want us to be in the Super Bowl next year? Absolutely. But to be perfectly honest, man, if we don't show up that offensive line like you've been saying for many years, and then the quality of depth that we don't have, come on, man. We got too many holes to even think that we can go to the Super Bowl. Now, I think we got enough to make it to the playoffs, and we have enough to win this division.
Well, let's go ahead and fill some holes real quick. Hey, we're gonna take a quick commercial break real quick. Y'all sit back and relax. Inspiration comes in many forms. However, we've got a way that we can get your mornings jump started and your days with a shot of Quavo, hosted by inspirational guru Sinque Mentor, better known as Scoop. He's going to have a lot of positive outlooks and from a different perspective on how to handle situations. You don't want to miss out. Catch him daily in the mornings and in the afternoons. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're lacking championship depth. I'm with you on that, Nando. So, K-Dub, in this situation, we're going to go ahead and get to our final thoughts on this show today. With the press conference that we had, before we get to the final thoughts, with the press conference that we had, what was it that caught your attention with Jeff Ulbrich earlier this week when he actually talked about who influenced him, how he felt about the JPJ situation, and just what did you take from Coach Ulbrich with that press conference? Because he was a guy that came in here with heat last year because of something his son did. Many people forgot about that.
What I took from it is he's willing to be open-minded and willing to work with the new staff that comes in. He said he's been really stubborn at times in the past, so he's looking for a new perspective. But I just feel like, it was a little bitty, in my opinion, this is my opinion, not the BirdCage. I just feel like he was doing a little up there. So, but that's me. But I just feel like you just need to be yourself, go out there and coach football and let's get back to it. But it's good that he's open-minded, really work with the new staff, learn some new concepts, new ways of attacking offenses with his defense and making his defenses even better. So that's just what I gathered from.
Great bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jeff Ulbrich is just trying to get the tone or whatnot for what training camp is going to be like and what the league can potentially become. But I like what he said. We need to get the right player in, because he's spot on right there. The right personnel is pivotal on our success, whether how we doing in free agency and what we attain in the draft. So I think Jeff Ulbrich, he has the right mentality. I think he understands the situation that we're in, and I think he's just really ready to get going, get ready to get coaching and whatnot. So I mean, he got a little bit of fire, been cut. And with Matt Ryan and everything that's going on with this new direction of the Falcons. So, yeah, man, you should need to keep it up.
Yeah. What's going on, Tyreek? Yeah, we're going to be doing that, but that's going to be a little bit later. But now, like I said, I didn't get to do it last week. We always try to do a little something. It's Black History Month, so we're going to talk a little bit about the greats. So one of the guys that gets overshadowed, and whether y'all realize it or not, he has more interceptions than Coach Prime, and he was a little bit better, but he played for the Bengals. No one talks about him. He's a FAMU legend, won a national championship as a quarterback under the legendary coach Jake Gaither. 8 national championships. Jake had 8, Eddie Robinson had 9. Now, it took him about probably about 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, because of the type of athlete he was, because Paul Brown didn't play black quarterbacks, by the way. They gave him a shot as a corner, and he became one of the best and got a Hall of Fame jacket. Played quarterback his whole life. Now think about that. A guy transitioned from quarterback and became a Hall of Fame defensive back. What does that tell you about him?
An athlete.
Yeah.
He's a freaking athlete.
A lot of people don't, and it took them forever to put him in the Hall of Fame because of the fact that, and he was dead and gone. Shout out to Mr. Ken Riley. We got a little something, fair use, fair use, fair use. We got a couple of highlights of Mr. Ken Riley in his prime with the Cincinnati Bengals or whatnot. He was a part of that team that went to the Super Bowl, their first Super Bowl around 1981 that lost to the 49ers. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Oh.
Go back to throw. Reggie Williams is blitzing off in a flat interception. It may be a touchdown. Down to the 35. Kenny Riley will go all the way easily. Will go back in the throw. Fires out in the flat. Intercepted by Riley. Down to the 35. The 30 may go all the way. He will. After 15 years, the Rattler was retiring, and the Bengals' last home game was dedicated to him. Ken Riley joined the Bengals in 1969 and made an immediate impact on NFL receivers. Riley is fourth on the NFL's all-time interception list with 65, and throughout his career, he has taken on some of the best receivers in NFL history, not only on the field, but on paper.
I used to keep a little book, Lamar Parrish and myself. We used to study a lot of film. I used to study Willie Brown, Emmett Thomas, and some of the guys who were, all pros at the time early in my career. And I used to jot down information on the receivers that beat me, what moves they used to beat me. And I did it so that if I played them again, that I would make the same mistake twice.
All right.
That man.
Right. You don't get blocked. But that is a little bit of footage of Mr. Ken Riley, y'all. 65 interceptions in his career, and he was not scared to come up and knock your jockstrap loose. That is a guy that should have been put in the Hall of Fame live. As I said, I support HBCUs all day. So shout out to Fame Rattler. He got in as a corner when he should have been a quarterback.
You know what's funny, though?
65 picks.
Roger Craig just got into the Hall of Fame. He should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago.
We've been saying that. The first man to get 1,000 yards receiving. Come on. He used to kill our Falcons back in the day.
And you mean to tell me those number? You mean to tell me that's not worthy of a first ballot Hall of Fame?
And here's a stat that's undefeated that no one talks about. Every team that he played on, they went to the playoffs. He never missed the playoffs during his career, ever.
It's crazy. He just got in now.
Lester Hayes is still not in.
It's a lot of cats that ain't get in yet.
Still not in. And that's why I said so here's the thing. So Ken Riley played alongside Lamar Parrish. Lamar Parrish was another shutdown corner. They haven't even put him in the Hall of Fame. So let that marinate. When I say if you're gonna be a student of the game, like a lot of people just know Coach Prime. A lot of people just know that because we're Falcon fans. But if you are students of the game, there are guys that did what Prime was doing. They just didn't have the spotlight that Coach Prime had. As you can see, Ken Riley is one of those. Lamar Parrish is another one. And here's the funny part. And whether y'all know it or not, Ken Riley was from Bartow, Florida. Lamar Parrish is another Florida boy. He was from West Palm Beach. It's something in the water it's something in the water for cornerbacks down there. When you talk about cats that come out of Florida, and that's not that far from Deion's home in Fort Myers. So when you look at it, Lamar Parrish played for 3 teams: the Bengals, the Redskins, and the Bills. And when you look at his numbers, he had 47 career interceptions, 13 fumble recoveries, 2,709 yards with 13 touchdowns. And he was an 8-time Pro Bowler, 2-time second team All-Pro, and 3-time first team All-Pro. Now you tell me that's Hall numbers.
I'm just trying to see what the criteria is to get in the Hall.
That's what I'm trying to figure out because
you
Production on the field wasn't done. Go ahead, K-Dub. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying you get voted in, man. It's like the voters, Hall of Fame voters, man. I mean, you just gotta be. They kind of ice cream they want that particular year.
You put no disrespect to Adam Vinatieri because he was a clutch kicker, but you put him in before you put a Lamar Parrish, a Lester Hayes in. You know what I'm saying? If we don't talk about it, it's just the craziest thing that you got guys in here. Like, no disrespect to Jared Allen because he deserved to get in, but you got in before a lot of these legends and you didn't even have to wait. It is, you know what? Let's do this in 10 minutes. I'm going to drop the link. I want to hear what the fans say about Hall of Fame because we got 3 players that should be in the Hall of Fame right now. We got 3. You got Tommy Nobis.
Yeah.
You got Jesse Tuggle. I mean, hell, Jeff Van Note's not in the Hall of Fame. And we had Dwight Stevenson that came on this show, who's a Hall of Famer, said Jeff Van Note should be in. And that was a guy that he learned from. Think about that.
Okay, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm with K-Dub, man. I think if whatever flavor they in for this year.
I hear you.
I mean, whatever flavor ice cream they want that year. I'm like, man, these jokers. You see something, you just see the list that every year. I mean, if you really follow that list, you're like, what? A couple of names that make sense, and then other names, you like, what? What were they thinking?
I'm like, Roger Craig should have been in like a decade ago.
But again, as we all say, what's the criteria? I'm gonna say this here: John Abraham is gonna get in, but I don't think he deserved to get in before Jesse Tuggle or a Tommy Nobis. Hell no. And I love John Abraham. We had him on here, and John Abraham, and I'm gonna tell, and Christine was John Abraham on the show when we did the interview with him. He says, on paper, I'm the Falcons' all-time leader in sacks. But the man who is the all-time leader is Claude Humphrey, and it shouldn't have took him that long to get in the Hall of Fame. John Abraham said that on this show, and he was honest about it. So, like K-Dub say, the month of the flavor is just what they savor, I guess.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Flavor to play in it, yeah. I mean, it's got to be your year. You just got to hope that, that flavor, 31 flavor like Baskin Robbins, they want you.
But K-Dub,
Darren Woodson,
think about it. Darren Woodson got 3 rings and was a shutdown safety, and they didn't even put him in. I'm just like,
what do you need to do?
I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like they need to take the voting power away from the newspapers, the people that work for ESPN. Take that away from them. If we're going to have a Hall of Fame, you let the NFL Hall of Famers vote the Hall of Famers in. And we don't need 2 different classes. You can put the old school legends into the Hall of Fame. And my thing is, if you played long enough and you got numbers, your time to get voted in should never expire. I think that's the stupidest rule.
I agree. Definitely agree with that.
Oh, look who done slid up in here.
You already know.
Yeah.
There he is.
John, what's good,
What's going on, John?
Hello, guys. What's going on, man? I'm sorry. I'm late.
You got a few minutes.
I was getting ready to fry some chicken. I finally got permission from the fire department to start cooking again in my own house. So I'm gonna fry some chicken leg. Now,
are you about to fry some chicken for real?
Yeah. About to fry some chicken.
Okay.
Hey, man.
Hey, look. When you start talking about cooking, man, I be for real about that stuff, man.
Oh, hey, man. Look, I know I can't hold a candle to nobody cooking. That's one of the few things that I was taught how to make is fried chicken and drop biscuits.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but
John, so here's the question. So what's the criteria for that you think should be for letting Hall of Famers get voted in? He's gotta produce like a damn Hall of Famer before y'all start crowning him. Here we go with this mess.
Man, go on
Again.
yeah, hey man. See,
it's funny because look, we all people have criterias and all this here. We don't care about that. I'm just gonna be real with you. We don't give a damn about that because guess what? We're talking about guys that already produced on the field that have been getting snubbed. That is what we're talking about. So again, he's a Falcon right now. He gotta freaking produce anyway to even be put into that category. Now,
true.
Because guess what? We were talking about Falcons that actually put in work and didn't have to give up on plays either. But we ain't gonna get into that. Now,
because hey, it used to be a horrible, bad thing for a running back to run out of bounds. You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, Franco Harris used to get credit.
And see, hey, that's why Jim. That's why Jim Brown used to be on. Oh, you can't break my record. You be running out of bounds all the doggone time. When men were running the ball, shoot, we got tackled in bounds. We knocked folk over.
Well, he always would say the reason why he did it, he said, I can't turn it on and off. And he said, I can't give a cornerback any kind of confidence that's coming up to hit me, and I can't let him know if he hurt me or not. And he said, I got to drop a forearm or a shoulder into his chest to break his will. It's simple, but it's true.
Right.
That was why he got all the yards.
And you remember, see, that's where the toughest football was being played, professionally. Up in that area of the country, man, they built their offensive lines. They built their defensive lines. Everybody that was on those teams back then, them jokers probably did 12 hours in the packing plant or in the steel mill and went out there and played football. The toughness was just inbred. And anybody who came up there had to have that type of tough, this finesse and this influence blocking and this, okay, I'm going to let him, I'm going to step over here, let him get past here and let the other man clean him up. Oh, that little influence blocking and that boop, and that's all you get. Man, no.
But John, but think about it. You were just talking about it because you got to think about it. A lot of players weren't making that type of money back then, and the owners were not as concerned about guys being in a situation where they were so delicate and they felt like they were losing money if guys got hurt. But the difference was guys back in the day played through pain. Guys played injured. And that was how you got your money back in the day. Like most folks don't know this. Legendary linebacker Bobby Bell worked at General Motors while he played for the Kansas City Chiefs his whole career. He said, I'd be getting out of practice and going right to the assembly line. Think about that. And that's in the 70s. He late 60s, early 70s, he was doing that. And he helped them win a championship. But speaking of Hall of Famers, I got one for you. That he should be a Hall of Famer because his numbers are practically like Ray Lewis's. London Fletcher. Yeah. That man has Hall of Fame numbers and has not even been considered. Him and Jesse Tuggle are two linebackers that I feel as if should be in right now.
Now, the beacon.
Go ahead.
The beacon to go into the Hall. Don't you need to be like 5 years after you retired or whatever?
Yeah. I think it's a 5-year cutoff. It's a 5-year cutoff. But you guys were Ryan asked me as far as now were you asking me about the criteria for being in the Hall of Fame or the criteria to be a selector?
Do you believe that the Hall of Fame should be by former players that played against people? They should be the ones to vote the guys in? Or do you feel as if it needs to still be with these newspaper writers and these journalists and pencil pushers that never played in the NFL?
See, that's kind of hard to say because biases would exist no matter who it is. Because see, you got some players now. Hey, in the old days, you had some jokers that legitimately hated each other. It wouldn't be no way on God's green earth that they would vote them in just to get that last shot at them, because of stuff that took place. And it's the same thing with the writers. If you didn't give this person an interview the way that they wanted you to give an interview, say for instance, Deion Sanders, if the man he poured water on after the Braves,
Tim McCarver,
Hall of Fame Tim McCarver. See, if
good point.
Hey, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. See, the Hall of Fame, I value it. I value the Hall of Fame because I take it as the ultimate credential that people recognize your body of work enough to vote you in.
Yeah.
But in that, they have some biases that sometimes are founded, sometimes are unfounded. And we all as human beings do that. Sometimes we are, well, I could call it pettiness, but then again, you run into people when you first see them, they just rub you the wrong way. Or something that they say to you just gets under your skin. And hey, and your older people. I remember when I was about to get married. I was about to get married, and I introduced my fiance to my grandmother. And she noticed that both of us were wearing glasses. She said, "The baby gonna be damn near blind, ain't it?"
Yeah.
And but old folk do that.
Yeah, they do.
Always.
They do.
Old folk do that, and
No filter.
it's and the thing is that the older I get, the more I'm starting to get like that. Now, man, why in the world did I say that? But thing is that those are the things that people have inside of them, and those impressions that people give. Even when you voting, even when you're selecting, even when you're doing whatever, and the Hall of Fame is supposed to be the ultimate award. But you got people that have those types of biases, those types of feelings, those types of impression of people, that when it comes time for them to debate and get in those rooms and defend their choice or defend their vote, they can't. And these things come up.
And here's the thing. This is when I said it was a joke. Jimmy Johnson said it. A lot of people said it. Even though we hate, he disliked Belichick because he handed us a loss in the Super Bowl. A lot of us can't stand it. But here's the thing. The man has 6 rings as a head coach and 2 as an assistant. You can't argue that. He has a winning record career-wise. He's up there in the upper echelon with the Don Shulers, up there in the upper echelon with the Chuck Knowles, with freaking George Halas and Vince Lombardi. He's up there. You can't deny that, because guess what? He won. All coaches won, and they were in. Jimmy Johnson won when he was a coach. At this point, it's sickening to think about. But I think the worst part about it is they have certain players where, how can I put it? They got certain players that they put in there early. Not saying that they weren't deserving, but I feel like some of those players that waited their turns should have been going first. No way in hell Lester Hayes should not still be in the Hall of Fame. Everybody said, "Oh, well, he had Stickum." So that means you need to take Fred Biletnikov's jacket from him, because that was who taught him about the Stickum. The man who the wide receiver award was named after. You got many players that was using Stickum back in the day. He just had to break the rule. I mean, bend the rule so much because he was dominant.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, Ryan, I can't. You were going in and out. You going in and out, Ryan. But and I didn't want to interrupt you. But I want to.
Good, John. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to throw something in here, and this is the ultimate insult for me. You remember all those players such as Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds and everything that they didn't want to let into the Hall of Fame because it was the steroid era.
Right.
Well, mighty doggone funny, they let the commissioner who turned his head to all of that stuff, they put him in.
They did. He damn sure did.
Now the people who saved baseball during the home run era, because you know, I never watched the home run derby because baseball. I didn't track baseball until the playoffs and the World Series. But when them Joker was knocking it out of the park the first few months of the season, and then the home run derby came up, I got to see this. I want to see someone hit the moon. I want to see somebody hit the doggone blimp going by.
They gave him a show.
Here's the most dangerous thing when you talk about it. One of the greatest baseball players of all time is always gonna have a stigma over his head. Pete Rose. Say what you want about Pete Rose, but Pete was that dude. Charlie Hustle was that dude.
Yeah. He was a heck of a player.
And here's the sad part. When we talk about the NFL and you look at some of the greatest players that never touched the Hall, it's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous. And here's the thing. It's two teams that consistently. The Pittsburgh Steelers always gonna have somebody going in.
Oh yeah.
But yet and still, y'all keep the Raiders out. Lincoln Kennedy should be a Hall of Fame candidate. He came from us before he went there. We had him on here. Shout out to BirdCage alum. Happy birthday, Lincoln Kennedy, too, by the way. Today is Link's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Right. Happy birthday, man.
He was an Iron Man. That man was an Iron Man.
And this is all I'm saying, John. When you look at guys like a Jeff Van Note, a Lincoln Kennedy, you look at a London Fletcher, like people don't realize that London Fletcher had 2,032 tackles in his career, 39 sacks, 19 forced fumbles, 12 fumble recoveries, 23 picks, 3 touchdowns in his career. Now you tell me, and a Super Bowl championship. Now you tell me that that's not noteworthy. He was 4-time Pro Bowl in his career. He pretty much led the league in tackles. He combined tackles in 2011. Then he was a second team, 2-time second team All-Pro during his career. You tell me that's not Hall of Fame worthy?
That man went to work.
But you let Jared Allen in. No disrespect to you, Jared, but guess what? I feel like you shouldn't have got in that early. I stand on that.
And from what I'm looking at,
Breeze should have been made to wait. I don't give a damn what nobody say. He shouldn't have got in that early. He was going to go, but he shouldn't have got in that early. I'm sorry.
You know damn well they would not about to let Breeze not be a first ballot. That was going to happen.
No, but that's crazy though. I just gave you a guy. His numbers literally mirror Ray Lewis's numbers. Him and Ray Lewis.
Now I said it got to be their flavor of the month.
And he was an unsized line after that. So think about it. Sam Mills got in after he was dead.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's tough.
And man, you remember that little Joker when he played for the Saints?
Man. That New Orleans defense, Sam Mills, Swilling, them Jokers.
Yeah, Vaughn. Yes, well, boy, they were nasty.
Pete Golf. Oh man, them Joker boy.
Direct looking back,
if they
didn't
ever
care
let's be
about
real,
nothing.
I hate the Saints, but I respect the hell out of this because let's be real. They would have had, let's be real, if they would have had our offense that we had in 91 that year with that defense, who was gonna beat them?
Nobody.
Man, nobody gonna beat them jokers, man. Cause I mean, San Francisco used to be the cream of the crop in the division. And they used to give San Francisco the devil every time they played. It was a war.
And what was funny, a lot of people forget that Von Johnson played in the USFL before he went to New Orleans. And Roger Craig, who just got in the Hall, said the first time he got to play against him, and they said, when you Aaron Ross said, when you looked at him, he said, Sam Mills didn't look like NFL lineman, but if you had to pick anybody out of that bunch that looked like NFL, Von Johnson was that dude. And he said, Roger Craig took a toss sweep that side, and he said, Fine, got him. Said Craig came back to the huddle. He said, he told John, he said, hey, don't you run that damn side no more. You better tell Walsh I ain't going over there no more. Now that's a think about it. That's a Hall of Famer that said that.
Finally.
I said, folks, when you look at it, it's a shame. And Ricky Jackson, that was the other. Ricky Jackson.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pahokee. We almost left him out of
it.
Can't leave Ricky Jackson out.
Yeah. Woo.
And,
too many players.
And Rick ended up bringing with the 49ers in 94. He was on that team, him and Richard Dent. Shout out to Murphy, Atlanta's own Mr. Richard Dent. Murphy High, aka Crim. But just think about it, man. When we sit back and we talk about Hall of Famers, it's just sad that such great talent never will see themselves get into Canton. Their loved ones will, but a lot of them will not live to see it, unfortunately.
Yeah. And the rules, now one rule that I would definitely make or change is limiting the number of people to go in. Okay. From the I guess the because there's a certain amount that can go in as, first battle or just normally go in. And then there's a special section for coaches combined with other people. And it's limited to 3, if I'm not mistaken. And that definitely needs to be changed. Anybody who is Hall of Fame worthy to go. And then again, it's this voting situation. Anybody that's worthy to go needs to go in. They need to go in on whatever year it is that they're eligible, whatever year it is that they're, voted in, they need to go. Because that strainer process where it narrows it down to a certain amount of people, a lot of people completely just lose their eligibility to go. And I said that's a travesty.
I said they should. Here's the thing. If you get nominated to go to the Hall of Fame, you should never lose your eligibility. That should be for a lifetime. That's stupid that people lose eligibility, have numbers where they can get in. That's crazy to me.
I never understood that rule.
That's wild.
It's crazy. Like you don't see guys that play college ball lose their eligibility for the Hall of Fame. They get in.
Wild.
People in the NBA get in.
I didn't know that. That's first time I heard. Okay, well,
you lose your eligibility after a certain amount of years.
And then it's bad because you might have been the very best that year or close to the very best that year because some writer didn't have any mustard on their hot dog at lunch, and they come back and it's time to vote. He take it out on you. All right.
Yep.
Now, if you continue to be put up there in a vote and the vote never goes your way,
I guess
there are people that will come up and eclipse your accomplishments. And the first thing that they'll do, they'll vote them in. And here you are laying back. Hey, I did that before he did. Why didn't I go? Why was I not selected? And now I can't do it no more because I'm too old. I can't go back in there and break this record or do whatever. You know, man, it's
That's
Well,
crazy.
yeah.
Well, John, we definitely appreciate you jumping in today. I know you got to get to that chicken, and we getting ready to shut it down for the night. We definitely always appreciate it, man. Tell the good people where they can find you at, man.
You can find us at the eye test, me and my partner, Winston Thornton. Ryan came through last night. We appreciate you coming through, Ryan. And we had a very spirited discussion on a couple of things you guys touched on.
Okay,
we went,
John.
look, we went 6.5 hours this morning.
Like a marathon.
Hey, John, tell them, hey. Now, see, I'm going to give y'all a fair warning. So when you go on the eye test, you're not limited in your language. Here, we're a little bit more clean and a little bit more polished up. We might say, you know, swear in it. Over there, I get to relive my military days.
And that's exactly what it was last night. I literally thought I was back and freaking out. I was like, God.
Well, it was a heated conversation. Neither one of us budged on it. And it's because we, like we said, we all agree to disagree. Shout out to Winston, man. He definitely held his own. He did his thing last night, but I wasn't going to change my opinion of what we were talking about last night.
Oh, no,
you weren't going to budge.
It ain't that kind of party. See, thing is, hey, me and Winston had a couple of heated conversations after you left because, see, the thing is, yeah.
I heard this. Look, I turned it on this. Look, this is why I didn't do bumper to bumper this morning. See, I was supposed to do bumper to bumper this morning for a quick segment talking about Miss Rakia. That was going to be on. I loved listening all to go at it this morning. I had about a good hour of that, and then an hour when I got on the clock, I was listening to it, and I said I got to listen to the rest of it this weekend because these jokers went for 6 hours. I was on it for at least a good 45 minutes. I know that much, but 6, good Lord.
Freaking telephone. Huh?
Well, this is for the folk on the dark side of the clock. Hey, you're on the dark side of the clock. This is, and see, that's why,
this is dedicated to you on the dark side.
Yeah, you're on the dark side of the clock, man. You up, you need to be entertained. You want to hear some things. We're going to educate, entertain, hey, for those folk at the funeral home, those folk driving buses, the people cooking at night, the postal workers, UPS, Waffle House. Hey, tune in.
Hey, John, you said a funeral home, man. Boy, you sick.
Yeah, well, hey, they don't do it in the daytime now all the time.
They working late.
They working late.
Hey, listen, John, y'all last night I was calm, and then y'all got me turned up. And I don't ever turn up like that. I really don't. I've turned up on here before, but last night I got turned up. I jumped out the car. Like, if you remember Harlem Nights, I'll take it back for you. You remember when Tommy Smalls got killed and Quick was blamed for that? I jumped out the car like Arsenio last night. Just Quick.
Yeah, hey.
Car like that last night, but the difference was I ain't get shot. That's all I'm saying. I ain't.
Hey, see,
get shot quick.
That's
like he did.
Hey, that's
my boy. I rock with Winston though. He cool, man. But hey, it was just one of them nights.
Hey, man. See, the thing is, hey,
you done got into it on this show.
Yeah,
it's just the passion of the fans.
Yeah, and see, that's all I counted to. It's nothing personal, or anything of that nature. And see, the thing is, I'll never get mad or nothing about that because thing is that I'm going to try to stick to the logic of the situation and not let the emotions take over when I'm arguing. Because the thing is, when you argue and get mad, you start forgetting stuff.
It's not even just forgetting stuff. You put yourself in a spot where you lose all control of a situation. And that's something that you don't ever want to do in the debate. You've lost the debate when you do that. But
yeah.
But John, go ahead and fry that barnyard pimp, man, and we'll definitely get at you next time. I apologize for that. So we got you. Thank you, Mr. Ites. The cricket beacon.
All right. Appreciate you.
Great bit. Definitely appreciate you. And good night. Y'all can. We got through it tonight, but next week it's gonna be a good show because we have former welterweight champ and boxing trainer, Mr. James Buddy McGirt, coming through next week. So we got a couple of interviews that's going to happen. As I said before, during the offseason, we bring in former athletes, not just Falcon players, but athletes for sports. So we got Mr. McGirt, and we got a couple of other people that's going to be coming through. So y'all please stay tuned. K-Dub, great bit. I will catch y'all Sunday. And for y'all that are in the chat, thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you. We love y'all. And we definitely hope that we didn't just entertain y'all tonight. We hope y'all enjoyed yourselves because y'all definitely kept us entertained in the chat. So y'all stay safe. Y'all be blessed. We'll catch you soon. Ghosts.